Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and this is by far the most amazing knife I have felt all year, possibly ever. And it is done by Winter Blades. I do want to shout them out. I felt like an unwanted stepchild for a long time, but definitely made it up. And, you know, now I feel like the most loved stepchild. So thank you to Brian for that. He did send me this, and this knife is completely done or made from magnets. So the detent, lockup, all of that is done by magnets, and the detent and the way it feels is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It's perfection. So you have the flipper here, you push in right there, and then the lock, you just pull this down, and right now the magnets are engaged, locking this in place. It is rock solid. I mean, just absolutely rock solid. And you just pull this down. It feels kind of like a button. See how it'll go back up if I let it go, because that's the magnets. You can hear it. So when I pull it down, now this thing is free falling. And when it closes, you can feel it like suck the blade right back. Ooh. It's like it's almost like it's done out of magic. It is crazy. So that is very, very satisfying, and the sound is just insane. Now you can see how we got the plastic flipper. Now this will pull out, and you can put a tritium insert in there to make it glow. Now when I pull this down, it free flows down, but then it sucks it back in. Now, by far the best reverse flicking detent I flipped. Now this is going to compare to the Roosevelt, and among all other detents I have felt, that reverse flicking detent is the best. Absolute best. It's crazy how perfect it is. Like, it's not too strong, not too light, and impossible to fail. Like, I wouldn't want it. Oh man, if I was going to make my own reverse flicking detent and the exact strength I would want it, it's right here. Because it has a good amount of resistance, but it's just that amount. When you break it, it has no choice but to all the way deploy, because it's solid. And the sound is so good. So basically the way this works is there are two magnets on the bottom holding the blade in the closed position, one on each side, and you can see them right there. So those act as the detent, and they work extremely, extremely well. It's incredible how well they hold it in. No detent lash or anything like that, and you do it's pretty strong holding it in place. Then after it deploys, when it gets all the way open, you see the magnet gets pulled up behind the tang of the blade, you know, attracting itself to the metal and locking it in place, and you can actually see it down in there as I move it up and down. Very, very cool. And if it did start coming loose, you know, throughout the day or whatever, you could just use a quarter or something like that to tighten it if you wanted to. Obviously keep it Loctited, but you know, things do happen, and knives do sometimes come a little loose while you're out and about. This one's very easy to keep tight. And if that is opened and you do open and close it, the blade is going to be right there. So you're going to want to make sure that is closed, so you don't run into any risks of touching the edge or anything like that. But as long as that plastic piece is in the way, there is no worries. And really, even if it's open, you know, you're not gonna hit it as long as you don't put your finger there. But that is definitely a good safety feature. And flipper tab. Very, very innovative. And it works extremely well. It's amazing how well it works. Man, I love it. I absolutely love it. And like I said, rock solid. It's crazy. Now, this is carbon fiber on this side. Very, very well done, carbon fiber. Then we have the titanium clip. M390 steel. Amazing geometry, as you can see. Very thin behind the edge. I know I'm fingerprinting it up. Not a big deal. It has a nice satin finish. The green accents also, really pop. Now, in the hand, obviously, it's nice and slim. You guys can see that. Nice and slim, nice and broad. Feels nice and comfortable in the hand. This section right here, I feel it, but it's not... If I really crank down, yeah, I can feel it right here quite a bit. But, not to the point to where it's going to... At least as far as I can feel right now. Remember, I haven't cut anything with it or anything like that. But I don't imagine it would be very uncomfortable doing repeated slicing. It might, if you were really going to put in some hard work with it, then yes, it probably would. But this to me is I love it. An amazing EDC knife. This is going to be fantastic for detailing work. If you need to break down a little cardboard here and there, you'll have no problem doing it. It will feel just fine, nice and comfortable. The geometry will work great for passing through materials. I absolutely love this thing. Oh man. The detent is just so good. Left-handed, obviously just as good. The only thing is you're going to use your pointer finger. It almost feels like it has a reverse assist when you disengage it. The way once it falls, it's almost like a spring acting to pull it back in. Now, very easy to slow roll. Just got to break the magnets. That's also pretty satisfying, I'll be honest. That's pretty satisfying right there too. Now, you can't touch the blade right here. Now, if I go like that, then obviously, yes, I can touch the blade. But as long as this is in the way, can't touch the blade. So you're never going to have to worry about this pulling out. At least, I don't imagine you would. And if you did, you would just put it back in the pocket. I don't think that this would come loose because it's very easy to pull it out, but it's also held in there pretty decent, And if it did open up in your pocket, it'd probably just get pushed right back in if you put your hand down in your pocket. So the clip, I did push it in and out of my pocket one time. This is an amazing clip. This clip works fantastic, exactly how I want a titanium milled pocket clip to feel in and out of the pocket. I never tried the thumb flick. Yes, it's good. Yes, it's good. That sound, man. Love the sheep's foot blade. Love the plunge grind and sharpening choil. Now, my question here. So if I sharpen away a certain amount, I wonder exactly where it hits inside there in the closed position. Let me look. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I have to take it apart to see what I'm talking about. So I'm wondering where it hits here, because I'm wondering, I'm hoping it's not hitting right there, so that if I do sharpen it away, I don't think, no, it doesn't. So I think we're fine there. This obviously pushes into right here somewhere, but it seems high enough to where if I did sharpen off a lot of steel from the edge, I don't think it would be an issue. But that's, I'll be testing that stuff out. We'll be seeing. This is insane. I think that this is one of the most innovating knives I've ever felt in my life, ever seen, and I am so happy to be experiencing it, not just experiencing it, but being a part of it. And what I mean is that there were knives before me that I wasn't the first to be a part of, if you know what I mean. They were sorry guys, they were invented before my time of being in part of the community, and everybody, you know, had already seen them, experienced them. You know, I feel honored to be in the community this year and being able to experience something so innovative. And this guy is a wizard, absolutely a wizard. I always thought of magnetic knives. Like, why are we not using magnets? Like, is there something that we, you know, a reason why? And I always went back to, like, in my head that, well, probably because they attract metal dust and things like that, and then they would get messed up. But he's saying two things. One, don't oil any of the lock faces. So wherever the lockup is, like here, or, you know, just, you only want oil on the bearings, and in that case, you want to do it very carefully with a Q-tip or something. You don't want to just drip oil in this thing. It's not like that, because you don't want oil getting on any lock face surfaces, or the magnets or anything like that. So you want to keep that clean, which will in return also not attract and let metal dust stick to it. The next thing, if you do get metal dust on your magnets, to just use a piece of tape. Basically, you take some sticky tape and use the sticky part and just dab the magnet, and it'll pick off the metal dust. So, but yeah, I always did think about it though, like, why are we not using magnets? Wouldn't that be cool? And this guy did it. And not only did it better than I could have ever imagined. This is insanity, and I absolutely love it. I do. And shout out to him, man. This is so innovative and so awesome. I don't think, or I know, there's no way this detent in action could have been done better. I mean, maybe there's other ways to do the flipper part, but for the reverse flick, it's so good. So good. Now, even the flipper tab like this, there's something satisfying about pushing in right there. I can push really hard or lightly do it. You can fail that though. You can fail it. You just got to give it a little bit more, like, it's a tiny bit of effort too, so it's not like it's much. And you can also kind of grip it right here instead of right here. Do it down there and kind of pull downward. And that works really good. Like, it's almost better than just pushing it. I know you might not be able to see the difference in exactly what I'm doing, but the difference is me pushing straight and pushing down like that. Listen to how that ring stops. This is so satisfying. But yeah, this is amazing, and I will link everything I possibly can down in the description for you guys. Shout out to Winter Blades for best knife of the year, in my opinion. Best knife of the year, right here. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you to Brian again. Peace.